double award-winning email newsletter, email weekly. Bex, what is it, and what was this Halloween takeover? Um,
hmm Firstly, great intro. Thank you. Um, so I guess going back and kind of understanding what Email Weekly is. So it's our agency newsletter. We've been sending out since like the dawn of time when Action Rocket was first created, like I think 14 or so years ago. And it's kind of like an opportunity for the team to test things out because it allows us to see how things work rather than waiting for trying it with clients and actually something completely fails and it doesn't work well.
We know the limitations, so what can and can't be done, and through Email Weekly we deliberately push it to see what can and can't be possible. So yeah, we've had as well as like the data visualization images, we've tried images, random images, we've tried really wide horizontal emails that are 8,000 pixels wide to see if people can scroll that whole way across. We've done emails that are 50% off where we've literally just sliced it straight down the middle. And many
Music.
other experiments. Yeah. Yeah, so basically we using our weekly to test out those boundaries, and then through those learnings the whole of the design team, the development team, the strategy team all learn kind of where you can push it and where you can't push it. And this email is a really good example of that, where we're taking a really nice design, nice single column design, making it responsive, making it work everywhere, personalizing all those imageries, and then also adding a little bit of Outlook, Gmail, email targeting so that we can show different devices and things like that and different information. Although people think emails limiting, we could do so much. And we always like to say that when someone comes to us with an idea, we'll say yes anyway, and then we'll figure out how to do it later. So that's kind of how it works. And I don't think there's many things we've said no to in the end. So yeah, we've got a pretty good track record there.
Bex, kind of starting with the data, what did we have to work with? And it is an email newsletter. It is not an
hmm
app or a subscription which has like, detailed usage data. Yeah, do you want to talk to a bit of the concept that came out of that?
Yeah, definitely. I think it was actually quite new to us. So although we've experimented with, as Jay mentioned, loads of different things within Email Weekly, like really digging into the data and like personalization elements isn't something that we've like given much time for. Like a lot of subscribers have subscribed from the very beginning. So things like longevity and like you've been subscribed for 12 plus years isn't something that we've previously shown to our subscribers. So allowing us to share things like that, I think was fantastic. It's always about adding value to them rather than saying like a data point which isn't relevant and they're like, cool. It's the same as like when brands are sending these wrapped emails. Like it's all about the value. Like, how are you sending something to your subscriber that they're like, wow, this is really interesting personally to me versus to everybody else that you've got on your list.
And that kind of data storytelling is the part that we get excited about. Okay, well, how long has someone been on the list? But then how do you tie that into a Halloween theme? And that's where the
Yeah.
the, the lunar calendar, the lunar cycles concept came from. Instead of just saying you've been with us for 12 years, how many months is that? Play that
Yeah,
out.
yeah, like making it a lot more exciting and like making them want to scroll through and like they see that hero piece and they're like, wow, this is interesting. But like actually we did that carried out throughout the whole email. So it didn't just stop at that first hero section. But yeah, and like you say, like aligning it to something fun rather than it just being a standard piece of comms, like aligning it to Halloween, like, that was amazing. And we ended up being able to like theme the whole email, making it a lot more like wow, and driving more conversation.
And then what is quite common with wrapped emails is obviously the personality. Okay, in this case it was opens and clicks really,
Mhm.
and then that kind of informed the characters that we created for that. So we
Mhm.
had I think it was the Watcher, the Oracle, the Phantom, and the Hunter. Each one had a unique personality trait.
Considering literally that was the only data we really had was opens and clicks, the
Yeah.
amount of times I've had conversations with people to say we can't do this kind of personalization, we can't do this kind of storytelling,
Mhm.
we've got very little data, we don't know what to do with it. And then yeah, we say, oh yeah, we only had opens and clicks, and literally we had it from two different ESPs and we managed to map it together and get this email out. So like if you've only got a couple of data points, there's so many things you can say and so many things you can do with that information that when you get someone like you that's worked with that kind of data and with lots of different brands, you can really visualize that storytelling and how you can show that data off.
Yeah, and then in the second GIF, then comparing them to the group, we again only had opens and clicks, but then how do you compare to the group? And then again, keeping the visuals within theme, which is what we enjoy, is okay, not just a regular bar chart, not a regular area chart. And I think that's our goal with personalized gifts in general, is that surprise and delight. Once that
Yeah.
email opens, what is that experience, and can it be completely unique?
We actually got 35% higher click through rate for the campaign. Click to open rate was, I think, was like just below 60% increase than like our average. Dwell time was great as well. So it was like nearly 25% of readers spent over, like, it was like 9 seconds on the email. So like all things like that. There was a lot of engagement. We also got loads of social engagement afterwards and like responses to how it was. Lots of our clients viewed it and were like, wow, this is amazing. As Jay said, like we didn't realize that we could do this kind of thing in email. So yeah, response was epic, and that's the kind of thing we love. And I think it's also important to know that, like, just because things like this do go well and this is a massive success story, it doesn't mean that you should be doing it every single week, because it kind of dims the excitement around it.
Yeah, it was a wrap campaign of a sorts, but not an end of year.
Exactly. Yeah. And like that's also how brilliant that like you can do things like that. And it doesn't need to always be like things that you've done throughout the year. It's like this was something completely random that people didn't expect coming. And actually it's kind of breaking up the inbox a little bit, because most brands and people who send these kind of things, like they're not going to be sending that in October, are they? Going to be waiting for December and January. So why not send it for Halloween?
We know the people we're talking to
Yeah.
are the email marketers, the email geeks that want to look at the code, that want us to understand what's going on. So we have that kind of idea in our head whenever we're setting up Email Weekly. And this one in particular, when you're looking at clicks and opens, marketers are looking at clicks and opens every single day to figure out how their campaigns are doing. So they're automatically hooked on, oh, what's going on here? How can we look at this? And then the other email developers are going, how is this done? I don't understand. And they're automatically thinking, well, what can we do? How can we look into this? How can we use it ourselves? So then knowing your audience and knowing the data they want to see is really, really important. And that's where these campaigns go really well. So we've all seen those campaigns from other brands that could be like, I don't know, like Monzo, where it said, oh my God, you've spent $5,000 at this restaurant this year. And you're like, oh my God, I really didn't want to know that information. Like, that's not something that I want to know. That's going to be bad for me. Whereas we took the data and put it in a place where we know our audience want to see that information and they're interested in it. And I think that really helped it go really well. And then across the channels and groups we're in, so like the Email Geek Slack group, straight away, as soon as the email went out, people were talking about it, discussing it, thinking about it. So if you know your niche and your audience, then putting that data in a really good place and visualizing it in a way that really tells a story to them, there's no way your email is going to fail. It's like a perfect combination, I think.
I mean, has this changed how you guys think about personalized campaigns in general, or where to with clients? As
Yeah,
far as
definitely. But
going through the process the first time.
yeah, but also internally, like I said at the beginning, like we do spend time, and like these kind of campaigns are things that we think about with clients all the time, and we're having those discussions around data points and how we can personalize. But then it gets to your own email, and it's really easy to just be sending out those every week campaigns, but like spending a bit more time in it and looking at the subscriber data and all those really cool elements to it, which you just don't get around to doing. That's something that we've definitely come away with for sure.
I mean, we know the popularity of wrapped emails and things like that has gone up hugely, but more and more of our clients are looking at how they can use data and how they can show it and how they can visualize it. And previously, everything has been very static. So
Mhm.
you kind of just have something printed on top of an image. It's not very something you can make it look cool, but it doesn't do as much as a moving GIF or an animation or custom art and things like that can be crafted into it. It was all kind of your own brand, but with like your first name stuck over the top of an image or something like that. And although that is cool, they're now seeing that the industry's come on a little bit more, and there's kind of more interesting things you can do. And like you guys are the leaders doing this, so being able to say we know the right people, go and talk to
Mhm.
them, and then we get to work on all the cool campaigns as well because they're our clients as well, so we get to work with you more, so that's really cool. But also we just like to see email elevated, so telling everyone about this and telling everyone that you guys made it and how we made it means that everyone's email gets better, and if everyone's email gets better, then we all get better. So that's kind of
Mhm.
a really big
Yeah.
aim of ours.
So, Just reminding people that
Thank
video is not possible within
not
within
yet, not
email.
yet.
Not
Not
yet.
yet.
Yeah. This is as close as you can get.
That's our
Yeah.
next project together.